In the last video, we studied about the laws with which we are going to use for making ray diagrams for a concave mirror or for spherical mirrors. Now, before that, I'll just give you an example how to proceed to make a ray diagram. There is a particular format that you have to follow that will get you full marks in the boards, and follow this format exactly, and as I am drawing, try to understand and also draw it in your notebook. Now first thing is use scale. Don't draw it like I am drawing. I do not have that big scale, but use scale and pencil and make sure that every line that you are drawing is a straight line. All the light rays, all the incident and reflected rays, principal axis, all of them will be with the scale. The distance at which we are going to put focus and center of curvature, that will also be measured by the scale. So if you do everything by using scale, your diagram and the position of image, everything will be correct on its own. You don't have to do anything after that. So we'll make a principal axis first of all, and then we'll make a spherical mirror. First we are going to study all the diagrams of the concave mirror. So this is if I polish this side, this is a concave mirror. This point is pole. Now from pole, take a comfortable distance in your notebook. I think 2 cm is enough from pole to focus. And we know that this distance is equal to the distance between focus and center of curvature. So if this is 2 cm, this should also be 2 cm. Make sure that you get that right. Now I'll give you one ray diagram. Let us say the ray diagram when the object is beyond center of curvature. See, the object is beyond center. Object is somewhere here, beyond center of curvature. Now, first of all, how we will represent an object? You are not going to make any candle or anything. That is not a good way because it will create very randomness. Since we are using all the straight lines, so we will use a straight line here. Like this. This will be our object, an arrow. This will be the head, this will be the feet, you can assume that, and this will be your object. Now, many light rays will go towards the mirror to get reflected, but we cannot draw all the light rays. There are infinite number of light rays. We are going to use only 2 light rays. Now, we know that if this is, suppose this is a candle, then it is a luminous object. It will create light rays of its own, and it will shoot those light rays in all the direction, everywhere. But the light rays that are going in this direction, they are useless to us. Even the light rays going up and down, they are useless to us. The only thing we need, only light rays that we need are the light rays falling on the mirror, because the image will be formed by those light rays only, not by others. And these light rays are large in number, so we will take only 2 light rays. One which will go parallel to principal axis, and one which will go from the focus. These will be 2 incident rays. Another thing you should always keep in mind is to make the arrows. If you do not make the arrows, then it will be impossible for the teacher to check which one is the incident ray and which one is the reflected ray. So arrows are very important to give the direction. Now we know that these light rays are going from the object towards the concave mirror, hence they should be incident rays only. Now we studied in one of the rules that the rays which are going parallel to principal axis, they will pass through focus after reflection. So this light ray which is going parallel to principal axis, after reflection it will pass through focus. Similarly, another rule said that the light ray which is passing through focus, after reflection it will become parallel to the principal axis. So this light ray will become parallel to principal axis. Mine might not be parallel because I am doing free hand diagram, but if you use scale and measurements, then you will get a perfect diagram. Now, image, where is image formed? We studied in the first video that images are formed where the light rays are going to meet. In the retina, if you remember, we studied about the retina, that the image of an object is formed on retina where the light coming from the object are focused on the retina when they are meeting on the retina. So where are these reflected rays meeting? They are meeting at this point. That means the image of this object will be at this point. And this image, where is the light coming from? It is coming from both the rays that we took from the head. We did not take from the lower part, we took from the head. So where they are meeting at this point, head should be there. This, because the light, incident lights are coming from the head of the object. So where these reflected rays are meeting at this intersection point, this head, the image of this head should be there. So it will be like this. Then now we can assume that every light ray that is coming from the rest of the body, they will go like the same way, and they will meet at different points, but all of them will meet in this, at this point only, along this line. So when all the light rays will go like this, and through focus they will be reflected from both the points, and all of them will meet in this area to produce the image of the object. Now if you see, the image of the object is inverted with respect to the object. Object is upright. This condition we say upright, or we can say erect. This is inverted. Image is inverted when the object is upright. If we change the orientation of object, if I flip the object like this, head at the bottom and legs at the top, the image will also be flipped. If the object becomes inverted, the image will become upright. So it goes both ways. So right now the object is always, we take object always upright, always erect, and the image will be inverted. Now this gives us certain information about the process. That information we are going to write point wise, and make sure you follow this format only. The first thing is position of image. Now position of object we have already written here. The object is beyond C. Position of image we will write here. Now what is the position of image? Image is formed between center of curvature and focus point. So we will write here position of image is between center of curvature and focus. So this is the position of the image. Second thing is size of image. Now if you look carefully, or maybe the distinction here between the size of object and between the size of image might not be very clear, but if you draw by using scale, there you can see very distinctly, very clearly that the image of the object is smaller than the image, the size of the image is smaller than the size of the object. So you can write here that what is the size of image? Smaller than object. If you draw it with scale, you will be able to judge that clearly. Here it might not be so clear. Third thing that we will write is nature of image. Now when we talk about nature of image, we write here that whether the image is real or whether it is virtual. We have two natures of images, real and virtual. Now here, this image can be taken on a screen. If I put a piece of paper or a cardboard or a screen here, then the image of the object will be projected on the screen. That means it is real. So we will write that what is the nature of the image? It is real and it is inverted. So we will write that also. It is real and inverted. Make sure you keep in mind all the real images are always inverted with respect to the object. If the object is erect, the image will be upside down. If the object is upside down, the image will be erect. So image will always be inverted with respect to the object. So this is the format that we have to follow every time we make a ray diagram. First we will write where the object is, then we will make the ray diagram using all the scales and measurements properly, and then after doing that we will write these 3 points in this particular order only. I'll give you another example. let us make another ray diagram, and then you can study rest of the ray diagrams from the book also. I will also make videos about them, but make sure that you study them and you do them in your notebooks also, because this you will perfect these ray diagrams only by practice, and there will be at least 1 or 2 ray diagrams in the boards, 100%. So next is we took the object beyond C. Now let us say the object is at center of curvature. We have shifted the object towards mirror. So again we'll draw principal axis, you draw mirror, polish the mirror, make it a concave mirror, measure from the pole. This is your pole, measure from the pole. Let us say this is F. Same measurement here, let us say this is C. The object is at C. This is my object is at C. Again, take 2 rays, one parallel to principal axis and another passing through the focus. These are 2 incident rays. This ray, when reflected, it will pass through focus. So it will pass like this, and this ray when reflected will go parallel to principal axis. So it will pass like, it will be much easier if you draw with a scale, because your hand goes everywhere. And this ray, it will pass through focus. Whatever you do it with your scale, you will see that both the reflected rays will intersect each other at this point. Now if you draw the object here, this is head, so at this point will be head, so you will draw the head and then rest of the body, so this will be the image. When you draw it with scale, it will not be so dirty like mine. But the concept stands. There is no problem in the concept. So the reflected rays are meeting at this point. Write 3 things again. First, position of image. Where is the image formed? The image is also formed at C. So you will write at center of curvature. Then size of image. Now when you will draw it with scale, you will see that the size of image and the size of object will be same. So here we will write equal to object. Third thing, nature of image. What is the nature of image? It is still inverted. It is still real. So it is real and inverted. As I already told you, always keep in mind real images are always inverted, or we can say that if the image is inverted with respect to object, it has to be real. A virtual image cannot be inverted with respect to the object. So this is how you make this diagram. Then there are several other positions you can see from your notebook. The object can be put between center of curvature and focus. Here it can be put at focus. It can be put between focus and pole. So at focus will be here, between focus and pole will be here, and also the image, the object can be at infinity. It will be very far away. So we are going to handle all of them in the upcoming videos, and for these two at least we will follow the same rule that we have applied here. We will take 2 rays like this for these two, but for these two we will take the rays differently. Now remember, there are infinite number of rays coming, so there is no rule which rays are we taking. Here we are taking 2 rays because the diagram will be much more clearer and much more self-explanatory if we draw it like this. But this rule will not be applied on these two cases. Here we will draw the diagram in a different way. So diagram can be drawn in many ways. We have to choose which one is the best way, which one will get us the more marks, and which one can convey the concept properly. So these we are going to do in other videos. Make sure you study them properly beforehand so that the diagram becomes clear.